frequently to each other. Yes, you have to have the to and fro. We also have a book, a homeschool book, and so if Mum thinks of something, she'll write it down, and if we think, something that's happened during the day that's worth telling Mum, we write it down and it goes back, so it's a homeschool book. And we chat as well.
So you've got that sort of, the school sort of fosters a good open relationship with the parents there. Do you think that's changed over time, the parents' expectations, or...?
Yeah, but parents' expectations, they expect an awful lot more, I think, than I did when my daughter first started in foundation.
In what way do you think?
Parents are... how can I put it? Parents are willing to question the teachers more and get quite irate with you as well. Quite often you've had,
Oh, really? Okay.
That can happen. But, the thing is if you need... If that does happen, and they want to take it further, there's no problem. You can go and have a talk to Mrs. Hardy and things like that. It's always been sorted out, but it's quite rare. But it does happen. It's life, isn't it? If you're not saying what they want you to hear, or and vice versa. But it does happen sometimes. But it's always sorted. It's always.
But you think that has changed their parents' expectations?
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah.
What is it? Do you think parents want more of, or they want to know more about their children, or how they're doing, or is it?
I think because a lot more is expected of the child now than there were 10, 15 years ago. They're expected to do a lot more. There's a lot of parents are saying, but this is really difficult. How do you expect them to do it? And it's that sort of thing. But I think they think that we expect a lot more of the child. We're expecting too much from them, which we're not. But they go, well, this is too much. Quite often, that sort of thing happens.
Yeah, the fear of the trying to be pushed beyond.
Yes, beyond their limits, things like that. Which they're not. They don't. But parents are fearful. Don't push them. Don't push them.
Well, sort of within the media, there's always sort of quite a lot, isn't there, written about sort of the pressure of testing, the pressure of SATs, and children have got to be able to do this, and children have got to be able to do that. So do you think that sort of the media sort of influences that?
Yes, because people read the papers and read things online, don't they? Of course they do. Yes. Yeah. They say the expected. Well, I as a parent think I probably do agree with them. They do. The government, with all the SATs and things like that, it's extra pressure on the child.
So do you think, it's very interesting, isn't it, when you're a parent you work within the system, to maybe when you're a parent and you're outside, do you think parents are appreciative actually that it's not actually the school that's expecting that from the children, it's the government? It's
the government and things. I think they do understand, but there's always going to be one or two that really don't understand, and they think you're pushing the child too far. But but on the whole, SATs results are always quite good. They're on the level and things like that. But yes, I think that's the biggest change, is parents thinking that we want too much from them.
When actually it's probably those pressures have come from
above,
from elsewhere.
From elsewhere.
And that's sort of influencing parents. Do you think, did you pay any attention to those sort of Ofsted reports and those SAT scores?
Well, no, actually, because when my daughter first started, 12 years ago, they were in special measures. We weren't.
Oh, really?
Well, was it special? Well, we weren't far off it.
Right.
But I walked into the school and I liked it. There were very small classes. We had foundation in year 1 together. But as when Joy took over, it snowballed into this wonderful school we've got now. We have waiting lists for class. For classes. We are oversubscribed now, which is fantastic.
So, as a parent, when you are choosing the school and you went round to look, what was the most important factor for you then? If, like, say,
the children were happy. The children were academia will always come, I always think, but especially within key stage 1, if the child is happy, a happy child will learn, and they were happy.
And that was the overriding influence for you. Yeah, it's one of the questions I have been asking parents. Dual role, because obviously the government says that the SATs are there, they're there for schools to be measured and judged so parents can make an informed choice. What I'm finding is when I talk to parents,
it's the overall feel of the school, and it's there. As you walk in, it's just there. Hopefully you've been welcomed.
Absolutely. And I've sort of, one of the things I've said was, as I've been going around schools, I think one of the interesting things for me, which I didn't really take, is school displays.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
And I think the values of schools seem to, you go into schools and they've got lots of children's writing on that type of thing. Whereas here, you've got a lot of, it's about the values.
Yes.
They're lovely.
Have you happened to look into the hall as well? We've got a tree as well. Have you seen the tree with the leaves on?
Yes.
That's lovely, and you give for them to follow, if they follow a school value, you notice it and you write it and you put it in the golden. You put it in the golden box and then they're presented in front of school. This is why you need to go and put it up onto. And just little things like that, and they're just. It just means so much to the children, and it just makes the school a nicer and happier place, I think.
I mean, as well. I mean, there's like tiles have been made up, and again, they're very nice. But one of the interesting things here as well is the way the children sit at lunchtime.
Yes, within the friendship groups. I think that cuts out the them and us. The big ones. That don't go near the big ones, and it makes them more trusting of the older ones. Maybe they've not got older brothers or sisters, and the older ones, and they are nice. They're not big and scary because they're so much taller and things like that.
How do the children interact with your blind child? How do you foster that to make sure that they're supported with the friendship?
I mean, she's such a lovely little girl anyway. I keep saying little, she's not so little anymore. But no, they're all very accepting of her. Initially when she came in, we were very worried that people would barge into her and things like that. But no, it was as the first sort of 2 or 3 years, it's as if she was in a bubble, and they sort of they used to go round. It was amazing how they did it, because they knew she couldn't see them. Because she can see shadows. She really does struggle when she first came in. But now you wouldn't believe it. She just go through the school, and with her cane, she'll run, which is amazing. I mean, would you have the confidence to run with no? So, and they still sort of deflect around her because they can see her cane as well. But it's quite amazing. What happens when she goes on to secondary, I don't know, but that's another hurdle. She's overcome so much anyway. That's another hurdle.
But I was just thinking that the other children are.
Oh yes, they chat to her. There is one thing when you go, "Hi, Lana," and they'll go, and she'll recognise her voice. But quite often, if they go back, "Hi, come back. You need." She doesn't know who you are, but quite often she can recognise people by their walks, if they've got the lanyard on. It makes a certain noise.
Oh really?
Yes, it's funny. She did it with one little girl. She just came up and gave us something and went. She went, "Hi Faith." Right, right. She didn't say a word. How did you know? She went, "She's got buckles on her boots."
Gosh, how fascinating is that?
But she just.
Yeah.
It's just other senses she's using. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
The other children are aware of how much she can pick up about them.
Yes, they are. And you also have to be mindful of not to talk about anything too personal or too important to children, because she can hear. She's very acute hearing. You do have to be mindful of that one.
The school has a thing of actually accepting more children with needs than. Possibly
in other schools
around. And how do you think how does that affect the school community? Do you think that's a good thing?
I think it's a positive thing, really, because not everybody's the same. Lots of people have issues, and I think it's good, and it's bringing at a young age, an early age, just to see that in the world around us, it's not everybody's the same, are they? This is the thing.
No.
So.
And that works with their parents, obviously.
Yes.
Makes them feel welcome as well.
Yeah. There we go.